Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a serious topic that's been making headlines, countries that are kicking out Americans, and it's only getting worse in 2025. Now you might be thinking, hold on a minute, what's gotten into everyone? It's like the entire world suddenly decided to start ghosting the US, and not in a fun, we need some space kind of way. This is more of a, we've changed our locks and the dog knows your scent kind of ghosting. So, what's behind this dramatic shift? Why are more and more countries saying, see you later, wouldn't want to be ya to Americans? Well, buckle up, dear viewers, because we're about to unpack this geopolitical suitcase full of awkward tension and international side-eye. So, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant that's politely asking us to leave the room. Why are Americans increasingly finding themselves on the wrong side of immigration policies? Well, it's complicated, like a messy breakup with someone you thought you had a pretty good thing going with. First off, the global landscape is changing. The world is facing some serious challenges: economic instability, climate change, political polarization, and countries are under pressure to protect their own citizens and resources. It's like being on a sinking ship, and suddenly everyone remembers they brought their own life vest. And let's be honest, sometimes we haven't exactly been the best guests at the international dinner party. Our global reputation has taken a bit of a hit in recent years. Remember that time we elected? Well, let's not get into that. The point is, our political climate and some of our foreign policy decisions haven't exactly made us the most popular kids on the block. It's like showing up to a party in a stained t-shirt and then proceeding to tell everyone how much better your basement is. Not exactly the best way to win over the crowd. Then there's the issue of perception. Rightly or wrongly, Americans have developed a bit of a reputation abroad. We're often seen as loud, entitled, and culturally insensitive. You know, the kind of people who wear socks with sandals and ask for the manager if the Wi-Fi is down. It's a stereotype, sure, but stereotypes often have a grain of truth to them. And when countries are looking to tighten their borders, well, let's just say that having a reputation for being a bit of a handful isn't exactly going to work in your favor. But it's not just about politics and perceptions. Economics play a role too. It seems the welcome mat has been rolled up and replaced with a beware of dog sign. Now I know what you're thinking, John, this all sounds very dire, but surely it's just a few isolated cases, right? I mean, they wouldn't actually kick people out, would they? Oh, my sweet summer child, you underestimate the boundless capacity of bureaucracy to crush dreams and disrupt lives. Because let me tell you, there are stories. Oh, are there stories? Take the unfortunate case of Naim, a retired teacher from state who had been living the good life in country for over a decade. She'd sold her house, embraced the local culture, and even adopted a stray dog named Dog's Name, who, ironically, had a better understanding of the local customs than Naim did at that point. But her idyllic retirement came crashing down when she went to renew her visa. Despite having lived in the country for years, paying her taxes, and even learning the local language to a level that put most tourists to shame, her application was rejected. The reason? A minor paperwork error from years earlier? A misplaced comma? A missing signature, who knows? The point is, she was deemed ineligible to stay, forced to sell her belongings. say goodbye to her beloved dog, who thankfully was adopted by a lovely local family, and return to a country she barely recognized, all because of a bureaucratic technicality. And then there's the story of Naeem, a young entrepreneur who moved to country to launch his tech startup. He had a brilliant idea, a solid business plan, and the unwavering enthusiasm of someone who still believes in the American dream, even if the American dream seems to be happening somewhere else these days. He secured funding, hired local talent, and was well on his way to making it big. But his dreams were dashed when his visa application was denied. Now, before we all descend into a pit of despair and start stockpiling canned goods and learning how to build underground bunkers, let's take a step back and try to understand the bigger picture here. Because while it's easy to point fingers and say, oh, those foreigners, they just don't like us anymore, the truth is, as always, a bit more nuanced than that. First off, let's address the elephant in the room wearing the Make America Great Again hat. The global political landscape has shifted dramatically in recent years, and let's just say that the US hasn't exactly been leading the conga line of international diplomacy. From withdrawing from global agreements to imposing tariffs that would make even the most seasoned trade negotiator break out in a cold sweat, the US has made its fair share of enemies on the world stage. And when countries feel threatened or alienated, they tend to circle the wagons, and that includes tightening their borders. And then there's the pandemic. Ah yes, the gift that keeps on giving, mostly in the form of global anxiety and supply chain disruptions. The pandemic didn't just expose the fragility of our healthcare systems. It also highlighted the interconnectedness of our world and the speed at which a virus can spread across borders. It's like realizing that your neighbor's leaky faucet is actually connected to your plumbing system, and that you're both at risk of being flooded with anxiety and hand sanitizer. In response to this newfound awareness of our shared vulnerability, many countries implemented stricter border controls to protect their citizens, and those restrictions haven't exactly disappeared overnight. But it's not just about politics and pandemics. There's also the issue of perception. The US has long been portrayed in popular media as a land of extremes, of incredible wealth and abject poverty, of technological innovation and social unrest, of boundless opportunity and systemic inequality. And while those portrayals often contain a grain of truth, they also contribute to a distorted view of what it means to be American. So, where do we go from here? Have we reached the point of no return, doomed to wander the globe like modern-day nomads, forever searching for a place to call home? Well, it's not quite time to start braiding survival bracelets and hoarding canned goods just yet. The situation is complex, yes, but not without hope. First off, let's address the elephant in the room wearing the I Heart NY t-shirt. Americans, we need to take a long, hard look in the mirror, and no, I'm not talking about checking for spinach in our teeth. We need to examine our own role in this global shift. How have our actions, both individually and collectively, contributed to this perception of Americans as entitled, culturally insensitive, or just plain annoying? It's time to ditch the ugly American stereotype and embrace a more nuanced and respectful approach to engaging with the world. Think of it like this. You wouldn't walk into someone's house, crank up the music, and start rearranging their furniture without asking, would you? Well, the same goes for visiting another country. Secondly, we need to stay informed. The world is constantly changing, and what might be considered acceptable behavior one day might be frowned upon the next. It's our responsibility to stay up to date on local customs, laws, and visa regulations. Gone are the days of just showing up with a smile and a fistful of dollars, or euros or yen or whatever the local currency may be. We need to do our homework, pack our patience, and be prepared to adapt to different cultural norms. Think of it like this. You wouldn't show up to a business meeting in a swimsuit and flip-flops, would you? Well, the same goes for navigating the complexities of international travel and immigration. And lastly, we need to remember that we're not alone in this. There are countless organizations and resources dedicated to helping Americans navigate the complexities of living, working, and traveling abroad. So, there you have it, folks. The world of international travel is changing, and the American passport, while still a powerful document, is no longer the guaranteed free pass it once was. But that doesn't mean we should all just stay home and binge-watch reality TV, although let's be honest, that does sound tempting sometimes. The world is still out there waiting to be explored, and Americans can still be welcomed guests, as long as we remember to pack our manners, our curiosity, and a healthy dose of cultural sensitivity. Think of it like this. We're all guests at this giant international dinner party, and just like any good guest, we need to remember to be respectful, mindful, and maybe not hog all the good snacks. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global news and trends. See you next time.